Been coming to this part of the world for many years, an event that traditionally really kicks off the summer grass court season. My name is Nick Lester, delighted to have your company. We'll have a couple of matches to enjoy today, kicking off with Andy Murray, of course, the former world number one, the headline act, taking on Austria's number one, Yuri Rodionov. That'll be followed by Liam Brody taking on Jay Clark in an all-British battle. Been a few delays today. Would expect nothing else, would you? At the start of the grass court season, had a bit of rain around earlier on, and perhaps a couple of hours of the day have been eaten into, but Andy Murray having been forced to wait out here playing this event for the second time. His first appearance here way back in 2004. And he was ranked outside the world's top 500, taking the first steps on the professional ladder back then, and me, as he enjoyed plenty of success in the intervening 18 years or so since his last appearance down here at Surbiton. Plenty of speculation a few weeks ago as to whether Andy would play this event, of course, when he announced that he wouldn't be playing the clay. Then of course we saw him in Madrid play just the one clay court event. It certainly felt as though this would be a week that he would want to get back to competing again, and that is exactly how it's turned out. Getting some decent practice in over the last week or so at the National Tennis Centre as Andy, and at Wimbledon as well, at the All England Club, just trying to get as much time on the grass. The weather's been relatively kind, but suffice to say it's a rather cool late afternoon here in Surbiton today. It's taken on a good player as well. Not that there's any bad players in this field, of course, at challenger level. We know the strength and depth of men's tennis is exceptionally high, but Yuri Rodionov of Austria has been in some good form, ranked at a career high this week at 125. Andy ranked 67 coming into this week. Here's the 35-year-old. 12 wins and 8 defeats over the course of the year. It's been a pretty good season all in. Just struggled at times to get the back-to-back victories, I'm sure, which have been a little bit of a frustration for him, but there's a couple of really good victories over in Madrid, beating Denis Shapovalov there the last time we saw him, and also Dominic Thiem before being unable to take to the court against Novak Djokovic due to illness. So it's been a month or so away. A little under, in fact, just 3 weeks or so since we last saw Murray competing, but this is the perfect week to give himself the ideal preparation for, of course, the third major of the year over at Wimbledon in 4 weeks from now. This lefty's been playing well, as I mentioned, Yuri Rodionov, Austrian number one. Good season, 22 wins in all, offset by the 12 defeats. 18 of those victories, in fact, coming at challenger level. Did play the qualifying for Roland Garros. Rodionov lost in the second round of qualifying there, so that's not quite as good as he was hoped for, but did win the 5th challenger title of his career back at the start of May, in fact on home soil as well. Had a good win that day in the final, beating Yuri Lehechka, who's an up-and-coming young Czech player. Sent the ranking moving very much in the right direction. Also won in Biel in Switzerland in March, so it's a nice uptick in form this year. Only 23 years of age. I remember watching this guy play the Davis Cup 4 years ago in his late teens. He was just starting to kind of take his first steps, I guess, on the professional ladder. Has been helped out by Wolfgang Thiem a lot of the time as well. Dominic's father's had a big role to play in Yuri's career. Been helped by Stefan Kubak, a fellow Austrian left-hander, in recent years too.
30 seconds.
This will be a really good test for Murray today. Hasn't had too many wins at tour level, Rodionov. Just 7 ATP Tour wins in his career. 3 of those, though, perhaps good news for him, coming on the grass last year over in Stuttgart. Had some really excellent wins that week in Germany. Beat Alex de Minaur, among others. So he's proved himself to be able to mix it with the very best.
And the warm-up.
You'll be all too aware of the sort of challenge that he's going to face out here this afternoon. So cool conditions, but calm conditions, I'm pleased to say. Here at the Surbiton Racket and Fitness Club. It's a very strong challenger this week. Cut inside the world's top 150. Just to give you an idea of the strength in depth, the top 8 seeds here this week, all inside the world's top 85. So there's plenty of depth, as so often there is. But at the start of the grass court season, players are going to get out at their feet and get accustomed to the change of surface. It'll be Murray to get his campaign underway here. Early on. 20 miles an hour. It's been an area of improvement this season for him. He's getting a little bit more pop behind the first serve. Soft, as so often they are at this time of the season. There's the rain that's been around over the course of the last few days, intermittently, that'll soften the courts up. Big adjustment for obvious reasons coming from the clay. Footwork patterns need to change. Smaller steps required on the grass generally for players. More use of the legs as well. To any strength and conditioning coach, they'll tell you about the differences in terms of coming from the clay to the grass. Ball's coming obviously a lot lower, so the legs get much more of a workout on the grass courts, especially this time of year.
Yuri Rodionov to serve. Pick it up.
Best win of this man's career by a ranking coming in Vienna last year, where he beat Denis Shapovalov. In fact, 2020 that was the win over the Canadian. Other notable wins, mentioned the victory over Dominor, also beat Manorino. Just 3 top 50 victories so far.
Game, Rodionov.
Good serving.
1 game on.
Murray accompanied this week by Shane, of course, regular part of his team, the man that was looking after the body. Matt Little here this week as well with Andy. Nice to see Matt back with his old charge. Last week as well, the former British player, turned coach. Mark was helping Andy out at the National Tennis Centre all last week. Junior was this man, put himself inside the world's top 10 in the junior rankings, to number 7 in fact as a youngster. Position. Enough was out of the point, really. Made the quarterfinals of Junior Wimbledon. This man, that was back in 2017, last year as a junior. The transition from the junior game to the senior game has been a challenging one for him so far. Yet to break the top 100.
Come on!
It's going to be a useful shot on a day like today, so early in the grass court season. The slice, especially needed a little shorter like that. Very green. It's not going to be coming up a whole lot. There's Matt Little in the background in the blue jumper, Mark Hilton alongside him.
Let's go.
To work hard for the hole, but Murray does just that. And the former world number 1 gets himself ahead 2-1. To dig deep to try and find some former world number 1s that did drop down and play the challenger level. Of course, probably the most famous being Andre Agassi back in the day. Andre had his mid-career slump. Reset and reboot his career, did Andre. Back to play some challengers. Of course, a few weeks ago we saw Dominic Thiem and Stan Wawrinka go and play down in Marbella at the Puente Romana resort. It was a couple of months ago now, but pressure,
Time.
as we know, just as intense down here at this level.
Sorry.
Timed his move in beautifully. It was the forehand up the line that really did so much damage. Just running off, just a little unsteady with his movement out to his left. Never really regained his footing in the rally.
Fifteen all. Repeat.
Too far away.
15-30.
Vicious. Taking up the line from that position. Such an excellent chip, wasn't it?
15-40.
Such good feel, late change of the grip. Rodinov just didn't deal with it. Oh, that is superb.
30-40.
Lovely feel. At the base. And again, it was the return that was such an effective one. His ability to block the ball back off the return has been such an asset of his over the years. And it pays dividends again.
Next service. Fifteen up.
First point Murray has lost behind the first serve. Much better length on that occasion. the Austrian. What a volley. Exhibition already of how to deal with those sort of low balls. Wonderful balance.
30-15.
Again, I think that's evident so far is how eager both guys are to get forwards. Just keen to take the ball out of the air, not quite trusting the bounce at the moment, so early in the grass court season.
Come on.
40-15.
That was a decent return on the stretch, but Murray has started very, very impressively. And unsurprisingly, he's fired up. The former world number one out to a 4-1 lead. Started his season in Melbourne where he lost early, but then had a good run in Sydney, making the final there. Lost to Aslan Karatsev in the final, but good week that was. Wins over Goffin and Opelka en route. So since then, struggled to get those back-to-back wins. Got himself into tournaments without really being able to kick on. Lost to some very good players in truth. Daniel Medvedev, of course, beat him in Miami, the top seed that week. Alexander Bublik played a high-level match in Indian Wells. Yannick Sinner in Dubai. Murray's progress has been steady, without doubt, though. So eager to take the ball up the line early. Just catch Rodionov on the move, a little off guard. Expose the movement early.
Sorry.
30.
Yeah, brother.
He was in good position.
30.
Do feel the accuracy of the serve's got to be a little better for Rodionov. That was kind of right in the slot for Murray. A point you feel he should have won. Again, such an effective return. Back at the feet of the Austrian. Sharp start. Continues.
Use.
Yeah, Brits in action this week in the main draw. 7 Brits, in fact, in the singles main draw this week.
Advantage.
2 of them will meet this afternoon, with Jay Clark up against Liam Brodie. Ryan Peniston's had an excellent season inside the top 200. He'll be in action against Adrian Manarino. That'll be a good contest tomorrow.
Use.
It's a good volley. Just got the depth on it to rush Murray. Just couldn't quite get out of his feet in time. We're asking a lot of questions, as you would expect, off the return. This guy's getting so few free points right now. And there's one. He delivers his second ace.
Murray, 4-2.
Fill you in on those other Brits playing here this week.
Sorry, my bad.
Alistair Gray, given a wild card as well, former TCU player. It's a good college tennis. Dale Estes had a good season. Paul Jubb, also given a wild card. He'll take on Mikhail Kukushkin and Jack Draper. What a season it's been for Jack. He'll take on a qualifier. Qualifying still taking place today.
30 up.
Whilst round of qualifying will be completed on suspects in a couple of hours from now, so the qualifiers will be placed in the draw.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good run. The drop shot wasn't a bad one.
30-15.
Thanks already from Murray. Like 13 of 19 first serve so far. Pace and precision. A really cocktail on this surface when you're serving as well as he is so far. Rodionov just not able to find the returns required. And Murray in control of the first here, 5-2.
Time.
Main centre court here holds around 700 fans when full. It's actually sold out from Wednesday onwards, I'm reliably informed. Been a good number of people on the grounds today, among them the Chelsea player Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who is spotted having a good look around. Big tennis fan. Came to take a look. Doesn't live too far away. It was a really good look though to see how low Murray gets on the grass off the return. You could see how much the legs were bent off the return position, just trying to get a little lower. Hesitant, wasn't he, on the volley? You could see just didn't quite have the kind of commitment forwards to it. A little stiff with it. Murray has a set point here. He's just missed it. It was in all the way until it landed. Again, lovely move out of the corner from Murray. He decelerated out of the shot, then got back, trying to chase it down, and didn't miss by much. Good pace. The return has been the difference in many ways for Murray. It's an excellent start. Long way to go, but it's the Brit who leads the Austrian here. Couple of breaks, 6-2. He did set the stall out nice and early, didn't he? Of the first couple of points on serve to a really nice groove, good pace. Again, you can sense his willingness to try and just stay up the court a little more. Talked about how difficult it is so early on in the grass court season, where the ball really isn't bouncing up particularly high, especially on a day like today. You've got to be the one being the aggressor. Can't be dictated to too often. Trying to get the movement as well, the change in movement patterns that are so stark on the grass really compared to the other surfaces. It's the highest level of challenger there is available on the ATP Tour, the 125,000 level. Of course, they actually recategorized the challengers a few years ago now. Kept the branding nice and simple. Tiered them down from 125, much like they do on the ATP Tour with the 250s upwards.
50 up.
This man's won 2 challenges in his career, back in 2005, in fact both of them in Binghamton and at Aptos. And he was in the early stages of his journey back then.
Thank you.
Anything short, and Murray is jumping on top of it quickly.
30 up. Okay, 15. Okay, all right.
So Murray starts the second as he did the first.
Good again, second set.
Plenty of first serves made, and not quite so many returns coming back into play. Did see Murray, of course, playing at challenger level a couple of times last year. The final in Biella, that was back in February. Of course, that was the year that he started last year when he tested positive for COVID, couldn't get to Australia, so went down to Italy to play the challenger. Also played in Rennes, France, just after the US Open. Oh, he's made it. Caught the line. You can see the white chalk puff up. High quality shot. Oh, the most physical rally the two have had. And yet again it's Murray that emerges from it. Lovely variety.
30.
See how hard he's had to work to win it. So much more weight of shot Murray's able to use to good effect out here. See the Roddy enough forehand, just not doing enough, not putting Murray under any sort of pressure. Simply outstanding return. Again, if you're being ultra critical, you've got to say the serve wasn't directed anywhere near as tight to the lines as he would like, but Murray in complete control here. First, of course, of 4 weeks on the grass, with the events in Nottingham taking place next week. Men and women combined up in Nottingham.
Come on.
That's the Rothsay Open up there in the Midlands. Emma Raducanu committing today, taking a wild card, as has Dan Evans. They'll both be in action up in the Midlands.
Thank you, please.
Sorry, my bad.
Hold it up. Let us serve.
Well, a point that epitomises everything we've seen in the 40 minutes these two have been out here. Murray utterly dominant. And he has a set and a break lead, 3-love. In terms of the draw, this week, of course, Murray being at the top of the draw. Should he come through this one, he'll meet either Radu Alba, the Moldovan, or a qualifier yet to be placed. Brandon Nakashima, potentially the first seed that Murray could meet here. The American who's been rising fast. Just 20 years of age, of course, ranked 75 is Nakashima, but played a good match against Alexander Zverev a couple of days ago over in Paris. James Duckworth is the fourth seed. The Australian's been very unlucky with injury again this year, having some hip surgery at the start of the year.
Thank you. Take a seat, hand players. Thank you very much.
Whoa! Hey!
15 enough.
Beautiful slice. The ball really staying low, biting through on Roddy enough. Only be a very rare unforced error from Murray. Been very few balls that he's given away in that sort of fashion. Kept things super tight. Oh, that's magnificent. He knew it was a high-risk one when he took it on. And has delivered something special here. I mean, that is outrageous. Just look at where he makes contact with this ball. And that's almost as good. The Austrian number one opens his account in the second. It's been very little to cheer about, though, from his point of view.
Thank you. Thank you. You can pass the ball. Thank you.
This is really good serving. 9 aces already for Murray. One of 22 points won on the first serve today. change up. Once Murray's ground stroke didn't quite have enough, and this man had a good court position to actually work with.
$30-15.
Wasn't the most convincing of overheads. It was the
30.
work that he'd done before that that got him in a better position again. Great tennis. Superb return. Wasn't a bad serve at all, but really made it uncomfortable for Murray. Because of that, he's got his first break point of the afternoon.
Use.
Familiar voice of Matt Little. You can hear urging his charge on out here.
Advantage, Murray. Net, second serve. Game, Murray.
Well, he had an opportunity for the first time today, did the Austrian. He couldn't make the most of it. And a small test that Murray will be very pleased to have come through as he takes another step towards a first victory on the grass courts this summer. Last summer on the grass, lost to Matteo Berrettini in the second round of Queens before enjoying wins over Basilashvili and that remarkable victory over Oscar Otter in a 5-setter at Wimbledon before he was beaten comfortably really by Denis Shapovalov in the last 32. I do feel as though he's come a long way though in the last 12 months.
Time.
Great to see such a healthy crowd here at Surbiton again today. Expect that to be the status quo for the week. Some very famous names graced these courts as well over the years. Leighton Hewitt played here back in the day. Roger Federer actually played here in the late 80s, in the late 90s, excuse me. Let's not forget, it hasn't actually been played for 3 years in the Surbiton Challenger. It's been quite an absence. Lovely bit of ingenuity.
30-15.
Surface that requires a bit of that. He's used this slice so effectively today. Just take the ball out of the strike zone.
30-all.
Easy, once you've got to hit up on the ball, you're not able to be as aggressive off it. That's not the first time we've seen him deliver that. Rodionov left to look skywards. Nowhere to go.
Advantage Rodionov.
On the majority of the baseline exchanges today. There's Murray. Against this 23-year-old. Has had a good season on the second tier. There's actually only been a couple of players that have won more matches at Challenger level than Rodionov this year. Looks unlikely to win this one though. Murray able to break once more. And it will be the Brit to try and serve this one out. Very accomplished right from the start today. The forehand has been firing, as have most parts of his game. It's been very sharp from Murray from the very first ball, and he's at match point. A brilliant start from Andy Murray here in Surbiton, playing this event for the first time in 18 years. The fire still burns oh so brightly. And the former world number one is off to a winning start, beating Yuri Rodionov for the loss of just 3 games. 6-2, 6-1. Really couldn't have asked for much more today, I don't think, in terms of the level of tennis that he produced in all aspects of his game. The early break obviously so key in terms of just setting us the precedent against someone who's not necessarily been able to play at this level too often, this sort of caliber of opposition. Rodionov may have won a few matches at challenger level this year, but another gear. So we'll take a short break because there'll be more tennis to come here, and it'll be an all-British battle. Liam Brodie will take on Jay Clark. That'll be coming up in around about 5 minutes from now.